Hi and welcome to CBN4's Primetime News Package for today, Monday. My name here is Alien Christopher. And first up tonight at the press briefing held on October 27th, the moderator, Dennis Joseph, addressed Dominicans who have decided to leave Dominica due to the effects of Hurricane Maria. While the moderator did not condemn the action, he declared that running away is not the only option. In fact, Joseph describes love of country with the phrase, "Love is not love if it alters when its alteration finds."
A preacher on Sunday past was saying, and I happened to be passing, I actually stopped to listen to him because he was saying so many people are getting visas to run away. And he was condemning that, and he was really condemning it. And I thought, don't we say we love Dominica? And I remember the line that I learned at school from the Shakespeare play Romeo and Juliet. Love is not love if alters when it alteration finds. You don't love anything if when something goes wrong, suddenly you're not in love anymore. Let's keep Dominica as beautiful as we can and make it lovelier. Love is not love.
The moderator at the daily press briefing, Dennis Joseph. And in other news, Hurricane Maria led to the cancellation of much of the activities that normally takes place during the festive independence season. Chairman of Independence Committee Raymond Lawrence says that it is not the first time that the independence season activities was affected by a natural disaster. Lawrence declared that regardless of the changes that were made, there are still some cultural activities scheduled to take place in various communities.
Because of the devastating impacts of the hurricane, because of the dislocation of communities, the breakdown of communication across the island, and the negative effects the hurricane had on just helping to organize the various activities with affecting resources and so on, we had to cancel most of the activities for independence. In fact, the same thing happened after Tropical Storm Erica in 2015, when we also had to cancel most of the independence activities. So it's not really the first time, but at the same time, because of the impacts of the hurricane, we canceled most of the activities, but so far we've been able to hold Flag Day, we were able to hold Recognized Creole Day, Creole Week, and also we have plans for the Independence Day as well, the National Deaf Community Service, and the Cultural Division has planned some cultural activities to be held in about 7 different communities around the island as part of independence, but it would be some of it would be held during October, but it would also extend into November as well.
November 3rd marks the celebration of Dominica's independence. Every year on that day, the National Day Parade is held, and this year is no exception. Although there were speculations over whether or not the event would take place, the Minister of Culture, Catherine Daniel, confirmed that the event will take place. According to the chairman of Independence Committee, although the event is scheduled to take place, there were some changes made in order to host the event.
Yes, well, it had to be a sort of a speedy decision in light again of the devastation of Hurricane Maria as to what form, what structure the National Day Parade would take, and Cabinet decided that yes, they would go ahead with the parade with some modifications, including the fact that there would be no awards this year and no real big display by the police, as the police would not have had the time to rehearse. The police need time to rehearse to prepare for these displays. So to substitute for the displays, we're having cultural performances, because we'll not be having the usual cultural gala in the afternoon. So we're looking now at one sort of grand event on the 3rd of November, which is our Independence Day, to take in aspects of the parade and aspects of the cultural gala as well. So it's integrated into one major activity. Instead of starting at 8 o'clock, it will now begin at 9 o'clock including the address from the Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, and including the presence of uniformed groups, detachments of the police, and also the foreign troops as well that are here assisting with the reconstruction. And so we're inviting public at large to turn out in large numbers at the stadium, as far as possible to dress in some form of the national wear and Dominica's Creole wear, so that it can truly be a sort of a memorable commemoration and observance of Dominica's 39th year of independence.
And Prime Minister of Dominica, Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, is challenging the private sector on the issue of transparency and price gouging. Speaking at the daily press briefing on Monday, Skerrit noted that it is very unfair that persons are increasing their prices in a dramatic way post-Hurricane Maria. The Prime Minister further indicated that there's no value-added tax, the VAT, and no import duties, and doesn't like the idea of persons claiming that they had the stock before the passing of Hurricane Maria.
And so on. All of the stock are going to get mixed up to each other. And when you mix it up to each other, when you look at the average price, you will still make a big profit. And if you have a problem understanding how to make a big profit, let me come to help you put the prices together. But we can't be telling people about we had this stock before Hurricane Maria and so on, and so forth. And then jack up the prices, or in some cases lead the prices prior to a hurricane. What I would like the businesses to do for it, because the private sector likes to talk about transparency. Because transparency is the biggest word out there in this world today. What I'm challenging the private sector to do, all of you with hardware and food stuff and so on, give me two prices. Show me two prices. Show me the pre-Hurricane Maria price and show me the post-Hurricane Maria price. That's what transparency is about. Transparency does not only reside with government. It resides with every single individual who is alive in this world. So let us put pre-Maria price and post-Maria price. So when I come in, I say, boy, Mr. Serious discount there, man. You know. So let us challenge you on the issue of transparency. On how do you go about coming up with these prices and so forth.
Prime Minister Skerrit cleared the air and made it known that it is not an attack on any person, institution or organization, but rather a reflection on the views of the public. And with education a top priority, a few schools are set to reopen. The St. Martin Primary School is one of them. CBN4 spoke to two students of the St. Martin Primary School who described the hurricane as a terrifying experience. They claim that they are happy that school is about to reopen.
Master Joseph, I attend the St. Martin Primary School and I feel sad about Hurricane Maria.
Why?
Because I know they make me not go to school.
And you want to go back to school?
Yeah, tomorrow I go in school.
Your school is opening tomorrow. Can you tell us about school?
St. Martin Primary.
And how did you experience the hurricane?
It was scary. My name is Makia Peters. I attend the St. Martin Primary School.
And school is going to open tomorrow. Tell us how you feel about that.
I don't have school tomorrow.
Not for you?
No,
Okay, so what grade are you in?
I'm grade 3.
So what grade students going back to school tomorrow? Students from
Grade
what
4, 5 and 6.
And how did Hurricane Maria make you feel?
Sad.
Were you at home when it happened?
No, I was in a shelter.
Dominica's electricity company, Domlec, has been working tirelessly to restore power all over the island. Much emphasis has been placed in the capital of Roseau and ensuring that government entities have power restored. Moderator Dennis Joseph, through a daily press briefing on October 27th, gave an update of works being done by Domlec.
Most of the city, they say, most of the city has been powered. The western side of Independence Street has been energized, and it is hoped that Roseau Central will be fully restored by the end of this month, October. which is good news. Work is also ongoing on the Belfast feeder from Wavin Cock. Feeder is being rebuilt there. Work to restore the Canefield Industrial Estate. Ongoing completion date October 29th. And the Riverbank and River Street partly restored. So work has to be ongoing. It's not easy. You see all the poles on the ground, you see the wires, people are cutting them and so on. They have a lot of work to do. They also say that lower portion of Federation Drive has been completed and work is ongoing in the following areas as well. To the State Prison, completion by October 27th, which is of course today. State College, the same date, completion by today. Foncoule Industrial Site, completion by November 4th, the day after Independence, and Independence Day. And Pottersville, the intersection of Elliott Avenue and Goodwill Road, completion by October the 31st, and sections of Bath Estate completed by October 31st. And more transformers are being tested and will be energized. You know what transformers are? Those things you see on the pole, those kind of gray things? That's what I'm talking about, not the little things you have in your home.
Joseph went on to say that a number of domestic persons already have power since pre-certification is taking place.
And connections to date, connections in Roseau, 260. They sound small, but you know what happened to us. Portsmouth, 149. And the certificates that have been received to date, 625.
And continuing with tonight's news, the Dominica Association of Persons Living with Disabilities, the DAPD, a non-profit organization in the Commonwealth of Dominica, is celebrating its 34th anniversary in spite of the devastation suffered in the wake of Hurricane Maria. Irma Raymond Joseph, president of the DAPD, said that the DAPD usually holds various activities to celebrate the day.
Yes, it has been a major setback because we would have moved from Visual Awareness Week right into our week of anniversary, where normally we would have, because it would fall in line with Creole Day, we would have our Creole Day launch. We would have visits to the schools, the primary and the secondary schools, also other institutions such as the infirmary, the Grotto Home for the Aged. We would have visited the Maho Home for the Aged, and there's a new one in Canefield, the Home for the Elderly, that we would have visited this year. Also, we plan to have our exhibition. Well, we say Abilities Week. We're showing how persons with disabilities, they can really show off their talents as to their creativeness of what they have learned when we had our skills training program.
Although the celebrations for this year did not go as planned, the association has a special message for its members.
Sending out a message to our constituents, just letting them know that we are there, we are alive, although everybody knows that one way or the other you have suffered some loss as a result of Hurricane Maria. However, we are still here as an organization. We are open, asking our members to come in, or they could call 276-9635.
The 34th anniversary of the DAPD was on October 26 of 2017. Business and property owners are receiving their files with their respective insurance agencies in hopes of making a claim. Brenton Hillier, agency manager of Surgical Life Insurance, says for clients of Surgical, this can be done in 3 steps.
It's for them to contact our office. That is to fill out a claim or document which says the sort of damage they received, so we can register it on our systems. That can be done via a handwritten form. If they don't have access to the form, it can also be done on a piece of paper, and we'll tell them what information to put on that paper. Or they can also contact us via WhatsApp. And when I did a press conference with the Prime Minister's office, I placed my cell phone numbers for everyone to reach out to me, which is Lime 275-6605 or Digicel 615-7914. So we're creating all these facilities to get the claims from clients. The second step is that, to the best of their ability, they try and secure the property to prevent further damage to it. Now, we're not asking them to go all out, building back the walls on their own or hammering nails on their own. But if they can get a tarpaulin, they could do that. It's just a matter of trying to preserve it. And in doing so, if there are any expenses which have been incurred, we're asking them that they store the receipts for those expenses, so that can form a part of the claim. The first step, if they're covered for content, which could be furniture, clothing, etc., we're asking that they do not throw it away, but they try to keep it on the side somewhere so that when the loss adjusters come, and also their assessors, that we can review the content to make sure that it forms a part of the claim.
Helia noted clients are encouraged to get local assessors because Sagicor does not recommend any assessors here in Dominica. The assessors would then submit a report for review.
That assessor will quantify the damage to their property and contents, and then that report will be forwarded to us for review. After that is done, we will have a loss adjuster visit the property to make their own assumptions and analysis of what has happened, and then that individual will also compare his report with the report of the client's assessor. Once that is done, the loss adjuster is going to negotiate with the client in case there are any differences in opinion, and once an agreement can be arrived at with the client and the document is signed, a check will be paid out to the individual within 10 business days.
The agency manager of Sagicor Life Insurance, Dominica, happily noted that Sagicor has already begun paying out checks to a number of clients.
We have had about 236 claims, and out of that, we have visited at least 85% of those properties already. We have also started paying out checks as early as a week and a half ago. So we are working hard to meet and deliver on our promises and obligations to our clients.
Brenton Hillier, the agency manager of Sagicor Life Insurance, Dominica. And this has been the presentation of CBN4's Primetime News package for this evening. I am Alan Christopher on behalf of CBN4's broadcast team, saying good night and enjoy the rest of your evening.